So what is the topic today? What is the topic today? What is the topic today? What is the multi-threading? Okay, right. So let us discuss one by one. Okay. So before that, I just want to just ask you all, how many of you use LinkedIn regularly? Guys, how many of you use LinkedIn regularly? Just say in the chat box yes, no. Okay. If you're not using, I think okay, okay. So if you guys are not using, okay, listen guys, okay, chat, listen, stop chatting. Okay, guys, listen. Okay, how many of you, by the way, want to know how I get this corporate training assignments? How many of you want to know? Guys, how many of you want to know that how I get corporate training assignments? Okay, so the only way that I get corporate training assignments, let me tell you. Okay, so in before 2018, this is my new LinkedIn profile. Earlier I had one more LinkedIn profile. Okay, so which had almost I think somewhere around 28,000 followers or something earlier. Okay, and I used to regularly post. Okay, this is a new LinkedIn profile. I had to delete that due to various reasons. Okay, so I had to delete that. I had to change the way I look at things and all that. So a lot of stuff. Let us not bother about it. Okay, so even now I get corporate training assignments because I share knowledge on LinkedIn, my dear friends. Okay, no, so I see from your batch, okay, generally people are not using LinkedIn at all very frequently, and that is really very bad, my dear friends. Okay, so I sincerely suggest you. Okay, I think someone is talking. You know, is that Anu? Can you please unmute yourself? Ambika, can you mute yourself, please? Ambika, mute yourself. I'm telling you something very important. You don't want, I'll just leave it off. I'll finish off threads and I'll go away. I'm telling you something very important. Okay, so I get all my corporate assignments through LinkedIn, my dear friends. Okay, I keep posting, sharing knowledge. I keep posting my knowledge over there. Okay, so I make my LinkedIn connections know that I am a programmer, I know this stuff and I know that stuff and all that. Okay, so when people see my post, so what they feel is, they get an idea. Okay, Subhash KU is there. Okay, he knows programming, and let me call him for an corporate training or something. I get assignments from there. Okay, no, so be active on LinkedIn. Let me tell you, you would get your jobs. Or so don't be on LinkedIn just for getting jobs. It is not the thing. You should not be on LinkedIn for getting jobs. You are supposed to be on LinkedIn for sharing your knowledge and growing your community. Okay, so please do share your knowledge. You have a lot of Java knowledge, my dear friends, so keep sharing every day, at least weekly 3 posts. Okay, put 3 posts on your LinkedIn. Okay, be very active on LinkedIn, my dear friends. Okay, so might be as a fresher you might not get a job or anything like that, but be active. Okay, trust me, once you become 1 year experience, 2 years experience, automatically you'll start getting jobs only through LinkedIn. You don't even need to upload your resume anywhere. People will actually call you for interview. Okay, so having said that, please do be on LinkedIn and be active. Okay, will you be active from today, guys? Yes or no? Will you be active? Hello, yes or no, guys? Okay, so be very active. So see, I can only suggest you, I can only tell you the right path. Okay, now whether you take it, you do it or not, it's up to you. So make sure that you install your LinkedIn app on your mobile phone, and daily post one post, something about knowledge of Java or something, whatever, just post it. And trust me, it'll really be, it'll become a practice. Okay, right. Okay, having said that, okay, so now tell me, before getting into multi-threading, okay, so let us discuss some basic concepts. Okay, and then we'll proceed further. Okay, so what do you mean by a source file? Any idea? Who will tell me what do you mean by a source file? What is a source file? Yeah, any idea? Guys, quickly, what do you mean by source file? Then I'll get into multi-threading and all those things. Let us first understand this. Guys, what do you mean by a source file? Any idea?
Subhash, Jagannath here. So you
Yeah,
mean
Jagannath.
so you were asking in general or
In
with
general.
respect to program?
No, not to this program, and in general, in programming, what do you mean by a source file? In program, you write your source file, no? English like looking high level source code.
Yes.
Your
So
1.c,
it's
1.java, or
yeah.
1.cpp, or whatever it is, right? That is
Yes.
basically called as your source file, isn't it?
Yes.
Guys, yes or no? Put that in the chat box. Yes, no. Okay, that is basically called as your source file, correct? Okay, so Jagannath, what do you mean by a program then? Okay, Jagannath, tell me what is the difference between a source file, a program, and a process? What is the difference between these three?
From the context of viewing, so the program will be the same source file, but when we speak about the operating system, we call it as program, the runnable module as a program.
Exactly. So it means like this. Okay, let me write it over here. It's very important for you to understand. Okay, say suppose this is, I will say, hello.java. Okay, hello.java. Okay, and we'll write our public class main and all that. You'll write class, okay, and main and all that, right? So this is basically called as your source file, isn't it? This is
Yes.
your source file. Okay, this is your source file. Now you'll compile this code, isn't it? Correct.
Yes.
Now, after compiling, what do you get? Once you compile this,
Binary
you get your binary, that is your byte code or whatever it is, class file, isn't it?
bytecode.
So we
Yes.
can call this as your program. Okay, no? So how it does internally, I'm really not bothered about it. For me, it is basically a program, right? The compiled version of your source file is called as your program, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now what do you mean by a process?
When it runs in operating system, it becomes process.
Yeah, when it runs in operating system. You cannot say it runs in operating system when the CPU starts executing it, isn't it?
Executing. Okay.
Correct. No, when the CPU starts executing it, that basically becomes a process, right? Now, the runnable or the running state of a program, when the program is being executed, you call that as your process, isn't it? Yes or no, my dear friends? Hello, guys, you're
Yes.
understanding or not, right? Right. So basically, a source file, when compiled, becomes a program. Program, when executed, becomes a process, isn't it? Yes or no? Right. Now, having said that, okay, I think. Guys, I'm waiting for some time. You have anything to ask me? Doubt, you can ask me. I'm waiting for some time before proceeding further. You have anything to ask me? Doubt or anything? Program, source file when compiled becomes a program. Program when executed becomes a process. Okay, do you have anything to ask me, guys? Hello? Yes or no? Yes, no? Shall I proceed? Guys, shall I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, right. So now, you have the CPU over here. This is your CPU. Okay, and then you have your RAM. Assume this is your RAM. Okay, and then you have your hard disk. So Jagannath, this question is for you. Okay. Now, when I write a source file, where is it present, Jagannath?
It will be in hard disk.
Okay, so your Java file .java would be here, isn't it? Okay,
Yes.
so when I compile that, you will get a bytecode, that is your dot class. So where will that be?
In hard disk.
Very good. Even that would be on the hard disk, isn't it? Now, when
Yes.
I run this class file, okay, when I ask the JVM to run this, where does it run actually? Where is that? What will happen?
It will run from RAM. It will run, CPU will run, and the actual bytecode will be in RAM.
Okay, so what happens is, okay, it is not basically the bytecode. In fact, JVM will convert this bytecode into the binary code. Okay, so let us consider now as bytecode, but actually internally the Java's interpreter, that is your Java's virtual machine, okay, will convert this bytecode into the equivalent bytecode, equivalent binary code for CPU, and that would be stored into the RAM, isn't it?
Yes.
So all your assembly instructions and all would be there in the RAM, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
And now the CPU will start fetching the instruction from here. Okay, he'll go back, execute it, and then again store it over here, then execute it, and then he does this right now. Fetch, execute, run cycle would happen. Okay, so this is basically called as a process, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes or no? So a program which is under execution is basically called as a process. Okay, so source file when compiled becomes a program. Program when executed becomes a process. That is basically called as a process. Guys, okay, not okay? Guys, okay, not okay? Is that okay? Everyone okay with that? Okay, everyone okay with that? Awesome. Right. Now, having said that, okay, so Jagannath, you have anything to ask me here?
No, nothing. It's clear.
Okay. Now, let me ask Firasat. Firasat, you have some doubts over here?
No, sir, no doubt, sir.
Clear, no? I'm asking Firasat because she is representing students, and I'm asking Jagannath because he's representing working professionals. So, no doubt, clear with this?
Yes, sir, clear, sir.
Okay, awesome. In that case, now what do you mean by multi-processing? What do you mean by multi-processing? Okay, guys, answer your question. Where are all your processes running? Where are all your processes running, guys? Quickly tell me. Where are all
sorry, I didn't get.
Where
I
are your
didn't get
processes running?
CPU runs it.
Yeah, CPU runs it, but from where does it run it? Where are all
From
those
RAM.
assembly instructions present, right? So your RAM is what contains all your executable instructions, isn't it? It contains your executable instructions, right? Now in that case, now what do you mean by multi-processing? So this question is for Jagannath. What do you mean by multi-processing?
So executing multiple process at the same time.
Okay, so executing multiple processes, okay, in the same time is called as multi-processing, isn't it? Okay, guys, yes or no? executing multiple processes at the same time is called as, okay, multi-processing. It means, now this is your process. Okay, I don't know if you know Unix. Okay, in Unix. Okay, let me ask Jagannath because he's working in the embedded space. So Jagannath, if suppose I have process one, okay, so I think you have some Linux experience. Okay, so I think this is some basic idea. And if process one has to create a child process, then which system call will you use?
Fork.
Exactly, right? No, so you basically call a fork. Okay, you call a fork system call. Others, if you don't worry, it's okay. This is something related to operating system and Unix operating system. Okay, so you don't worry about it. So when you say fork, when process one calls fork, okay, if it says fork over here, automatically this entire copy of this process would be made a duplicate copy. This entire instructions would be made a duplicate copy, and it will start running in, okay, some other memory locations in the same RAM. Okay, this is your RAM, this is your RAM. Okay, so this is address location, I'll call it as address number one. Okay, so when this process, okay, creates a child process, okay, to create a child process, another process, it has to call something called as fork. Okay, when it does a fork, what happens, whatever assembly instructions were there in process one at memory address one, right, would be copied from that memory address, and it would get stored in some other address called as number two. Okay, and this entire thing would become it will start running as a separate process, right? So this is basically called as multi-processing. Okay, multiple process, one process giving birth to another process is basically called as multi-processing, my dear friends. Is that okay? Guys, hello, is that okay? So Jagannath, I have a question for you again. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm testing your Linux knowledge, don't mind.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is, if I do an fork over here, okay, so if I make any changes over here, will it reflect over here in process one?
So you are making a fork again in process two?
No, there is no process. Okay, process one has been forked, a new child process has been created, and both are running independently, separately, and two address spaces. Okay, and if I make any changes in process two, will there be any changes in process one?
Okay, basically the source file is same, the program is same. You're just making a
the program. I'm creating a fork, and it has been duplicated over here.
Yes, but the instruction, everything is duplicated. The instruction in, yes.
Okay, you tell me what will happen when we do a fork.
So the exact duplicate of P1 and P2 will be created.
Exactly.
If you want to control some part of code that should be executed only in P2, we will check the return argument from the fork to execute where it should be executed, the part of code.
That is okay. Even that is duplicated, don't worry. If you say, to check whether the PID is 0 or the child PID, whatever it is, okay, you will say fork is equal to whether it is equal to 0 or PID and all that. You check if whatever it is, right? So the entire process has been duplicated into a new process, right?
Okay.
Now my question is, you make some changes to P2, will it get reflected in P1 is my question. Will it get reflected or not? The basic fundamental of fork.
No.
Yeah, no. Why? Because they are two different independent processes.
Independent entities.
Okay, they will not share anything in common. You're understanding it? It doesn't, because they are two different. Okay, they are two different processes, my dear friends, running in two different memory locations: address space one, address space two, and this is called as multi-processing. Guys, you're understanding it? Okay, it means, okay, multiple programs, okay, running multiple processes being spawned from out of one process is basically called as multi-processing. Okay, so guys, you have any doubt, you can ask me, because I'm not getting into multi-processing. Today's chapter is all about multi-threading, but I just gave you an information. You have any doubt, you can ask me. Jagannath, you have some doubts, you can ask me.
No doubt so far, yeah.
No doubt. Guys, any other doubts, you can ask me. Okay, guys, just ask me if you have any doubts. It's okay, don't feel don't hesitate and all that. You can ask me. You're there here for learning, so please ask me doubts. Don't hesitate. Do you have any doubt? Okay, so you have a process running. That process is creating a child process. That is basically called as multi-processing. Now, are these two processes running in the same address space is my question. Is it running in the same address space? Guys, answer my question. Is it running in the same address space? Absolutely no. They are two different independent processes running independently. they will have their own stack, they will have their own data, they will have their own heap. Everything is totally different. Okay, they're running in two different address space. When I say they are two different address space, it means they will have their own data segment, they will have their own stack segment, they will be having their own heap segment, and everything is totally different. Okay, they have no connection at all. Okay, until and unless. Okay, now one more question which is not really needed for the Java class, but still just to irritate Jagannath, let me ask you this question, Jagannath. Okay, Jagannath,
Okay.
once I actually create a child process, and if suppose I want to communicate between these two, what will I do then?
We have to use inter-process communication.
Wow, awesome. So you'll have to make use of some kind of IPCs, isn't it? You'll have to make use
Yes.
of IPCs. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, so Jagannath is really awesome. He knows a lot of stuff. Jagannath. Okay, chalo. So having said that, guys, do you understand multiprocessing now? So Jagannath, any doubt here? No doubt, no?
No doubt, yes.
Okay, so Firasat, any doubt over here? Firasat,
No,
you
sir.
have any
No
doubt?
doubt. Clear,
No doubt.
sir.
Okay, right. So that is multiprocessing. So multiprocessing is not the chapter today. It is multi-threading, and I felt this is needed to explain you, right? Now, when we have a process, okay, which will, okay, before explaining that, now Jagannath, I have a question for you once again, one more question. Okay, now when you say
Okay.
multiple processes, do you think you'll have multiple CPUs executing on multiple processes? I have process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4. Okay, so is it everything getting executed in the together, or how is it?
So CPU can execute only sequence of instruction at a time.
Okay.
So there is one CPU and it can execute a sequence of instruction at a time.
Okay.
So if the process 1 executing,
Huh.
the other process will not be executed until the process 1 is being halted and given a chance to other process.
Okay, so my question is, can CPU simultaneously run multiple processes?
Okay, actually it cannot run if process 1 is running and process 2 cannot run at the same time.
Exactly.
Either
right?
it can do, it can run process 1 for some time and make it halt, then run process 2, make it halt.
Beautiful, correct. So my dear friends, when I say multi-processing, okay, so the definition says, most of the textbooks says that, okay, multiple processes running at the same time is called as multi-processing. Okay, but that is a kind of, not the right definition, but I mean, generally we speak like that, but that is not the right definition, because not multiple processes would be running, no multiple processes would be running at the same time. Okay, at any given point of time, CPU would only be executing one process. Okay, you will feel like CPU is executing multiple processes, but no, CPU is not executing multiple processes. CPU is only executing one process at a time. But the feeling that you get that CPU is executing multiple processes at a time, right, is because the CPU is so fast in switching from one process to other process that you will not even get to know that it is happening. Okay, so that switching is basically called as the context switching. It is called as context switch. Switching the context. Context is nothing but the state of your stack. Okay, inner CPU registers and all that, right? So switching the context from one process to other process is basically called as context switching. And this basically there are a lot of algorithms. Okay, let me give you an analogy for now. Okay, now I'll give you an analogy for context switching, or I'll give you an analogy for how this works, right? Now assume that we have Firasat, okay, or we have Jagannath. Okay, we have Jagannath over here. Okay, and then we have Firasat over here. Okay, and then we have anyone else, guys? Okay, so we have Disha over here. Okay, we have Disha. Okay, and then we have Jagadish. Okay, so we have Jagadish. Okay, so Jagadish, okay, because I don't forget the name. Okay, so Disha, I can remember. Firasat and Jagannath also confusing. So Jagannath and Jagdish, there is a confusion. Jagannath. Okay, so now what happens is, I am standing here. I am conducting group discussion for all these guys. Okay, so I am the moderator. Subhash is the moderator. So what is the topic given, guys? What is the topic given? Topic given is, okay, topic given is okay, love marriage or arranged marriage is a topic given to these guys, right? So what happens is that, you know, I'll say the group discussion topic is love marriage or arranged marriage, and I give chance for Jagannath. Okay, so Jagannath is so interested in love marriage. Okay, he says we have to go for love marriage, and love marriage is the best, and all kind of things. Okay, so he starts talking so much that Firasat will feel like giving one on Jagannath's head, correct? No, because Jagannath is not giving chance for anyone else. Jagannath is continuously speaking about love marriage only, because Firasat is against love marriage and she wants to talk about arranged marriage, but you know, Jagannath is not allowing her. Isn't it, my dear friends? Now when this happens, you tell me guys, what will happen if Jagannath alone is speaking, okay, but not giving chance to anyone else? What will happen, my dear friends? You tell me guys, what will happen? Okay, others will get annoyed. No, hello, others will get annoyed.
Yes.
Isn't it? Others will get annoyed, correct? Now who should take control of the situation? Who must take control of the,
Moderator.
my dear friends? Moderator has to take control of the situation, right? So what moderator will do is that before starting the group discussion itself, okay, moderator will tell each and every participants that Jagannath, Firasat, Disha, Anand and Jagdish, okay, each one should speak for only 30 seconds, not more than 30 seconds. Okay, so time slot given to you is 30 seconds. In 30 seconds you'll have to speak and give the chance to someone else, is what the moderator will tell each and every participant. Okay, so that is basically called as the time slice. What is it called as, my dear friends? I'm not talking
Time
about operating
slice.
system in detail, but still, okay, I'm just giving you some information. That is called as time slice. Okay, so what is the time slice given in my example, in my analogy? Now the time slice given is 30 seconds. Okay,
30 seconds.
now what I'll do is I will start the group discussion. Right now Jagannath will start talking about love marriage and all that. Okay, so the moment he completes 30 seconds, okay, I will not allow him to talk even a moment. When he is about to talk for the 31st second, I will have one hammer in my hand. Okay, I will have one hammer in my hand. I will give one on Jagannath's head. I just clout on his head and say next, stop, and next move to Firasat. Now Firasat will get a chance, and Firasat will start talking about arranged marriage and all kind of stuff. And the moment she completes 30 and she's entering into 31, immediately I'll give one on her head and say, you know, clout on her head and say, you sit there. Now give the chance to Dishanand. Now Disha will start talking. Okay, she will speak for 30 seconds and then give one on her head. Then Jagdish will talk, give one on her head for, you know, one on Jagdish head after he completes, you know, 30 seconds. Then again the time will go to, the chance will go to Jagannath. Again, Jagannath will speak for the next 30 seconds. Once he completes that time slice, give one on his head, ask him to. You're understanding, guys? So this is one of the algorithm which is very famous in operating system called as round robin algorithm, my dear friends. I don't know if you have heard about it. Okay, I'm not going detail about it. There are so, okay, round robin algorithm. Okay, round robin algorithm. It is basically called as a scheduling algorithm in operating systems. Scheduling algorithm. Okay, so where the operating system will tell the CPU whom to schedule, how to schedule based on the time slice. Similarly, here CPU is your moderator. Okay, now CPU is your moderator. There is basically something called a scheduler. I'm not talking about scheduler and all those. I'm not going detail into the operating system for now. Okay, so what happens is that CPU will take, you know, process one and start executing it, okay, until a given time slice. Okay, so time slice can be decided by the system administrator of your operating system. Okay, so when he is executing process one and the time slice completes, okay, immediately he will send him into the sleep state and then bring him process two to the next running state. He will take process two, right? Once process two completes, you know what happens? He will again suspend him and he will go to the sleep state, and then P3 will get into the, you know, active state. He will start running. Okay, and then continues with P4. By the time P4 starts running, you know, he will now get into something called as runnable state. Okay, from runnable, then he comes to running, and then he goes to sleep state, and then active state, like that. There are several states. Guys, you're understanding this, how this happens? So you feel that multiple processes are running at the same time. No, multiple processes are not running at the same time. Okay, at any given point of time, there is only one process being executed by the CPU. Okay, no, you only get that feeling that multiple processes are executing at the same time. Okay, but not. Did you understand, my dear friends? So this is basically called as multi-processing, and each and every processes are running in different address space. This is in some address, okay, this is in some other address, this is in the third address, this is the fourth address. No single process are running in the same address space. Okay, everybody are running in its own address space. This is called as multi-processing. Is that okay, my dear friends? Hello, is that okay? Jagannath, did you understand this?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Understood.
guys, Firasa, did you understand this? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes or
Understood.
no, guys? Everybody understood? Any doubt is there? I'll wait for some 5 seconds. Just tell me if you have any doubts. Guys, understood? Everyone understood? Yes or no? Sahil is telling nope. Okay, Sahil, can you please unmute yourself, Sahil? Sahil, unmute yourself and talk to me, no? Means I understood. Okay. In Sahil's language, nope means I understood. Now I understood. Now I understood what Sahil understood. Anyways, chalo, okay. So having said that, okay, okay, now, okay. So I told you, no, so the switching of the context is basically called as context switching. Okay. Now let me again talk to Jagannath. So Jagannath, what do you mean by a thread now? What do you mean by thread, and what is the difference between a process and a thread?
Okay, so threading is also similar to process,
Okay.
but it is very lightweight and it can run within, it should run within a process space.
Okay, so multiprocessing is that you basically, you give birth to a child process, and the child process actually, runs in two different address space, address 1 and address 2, isn't it? Now, okay, so whereas threads is nothing but you will have a main thread or a main process, okay, so which will give birth to, okay, its own threads which runs in its own address space. It is not running in separate address space within the same process, within its own address space. It will have a certain sequence of instructions running separately. That is basically called as a thread. Okay, no, so though the context which will happen between these, okay, simultaneously, some CPU will start executing this, and then the time would be given to this, and then the time would be given to this. Okay, so basically thread is nothing but a separate sequence of execution within the same process. Okay, whereas this is called as your main thread, okay, and these are called as your child threads. Guys, is that okay? The difference is that multi-processing is that two different processes runs in two different address space, whereas multiple threads are nothing but separate sequence of instructions that runs parallelly with the main thread but runs on the same address space. Is that okay? Only thing that differentiate between your process and your threads is that threads will have its own stack. Okay, this will have its own stack, this will have its own stack, this will have its own stack, this will have its own stack. Okay, the rest on all would be same. The global data would be shared by the all the threads. If there is a global data, that would be shared by all the threads, whereas in your process, no, everything would be copied, everything would be duplicated. Whereas, okay, in the multi-threading, only the stack would be duplicated. There would be a different stack running for each and every thread, but the global data that is there in your main thread will be shared by all the child threads. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay?
Okay.
Hello, is that okay? This is the main difference. They'll ask you in an interview, you will have to, if you say this, it is more than enough. Is that okay? Right? So what are we doing now? We are going to learn how to create threads in our programs. Is that okay? So, and how to communicate between 1 and 2 threads, how to actually synchronize the threads, and all this we'll be discussing now. Is that clear, guys? I'll wait for 5 more seconds. If you have any doubt, ask me. It's a very important topic. Very, very good topic, my dear friends. You'll have to learn this. It's very interesting. Multi-threading is very, very advanced topic. Is that okay? Everyone, I'm waiting for 10 seconds. You have any doubt, you can ask me. No doubts? Okay, so Jagannath, I have a question for you. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, the main thread will have the stack, or even the child threads will be having the uh, stack.
Who is this?
Shawan, sir.
Shawan. What is that? Once again.
Like the main thread will have multiple child threads, right?
Correct.
So the child thread also will have stack, or only the main thread will have the stack?
No. Each and every thread that you create over here will have its own stack creating.
Okay, sir.
If suppose thread 1 is calling one method Shawan is calling another method called as Subhash is calling another method called as Jagannath is again calling one more method called as Firasat. So there would be some 4 stacks created for thread 1. Okay, and
Okay,
if
sir.
thread 2 also does the same thing, right? There would be a separate stack frame created for thread 2, the same thing. So stack would be duplicated for each and every threads.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Thank
got it. I'll be explaining that to you, don't worry, it is there. Oh, is that okay? Gayatri, thank you. Guys, is that okay? Hello, I'm proceeding further. Okay, now, so Jagannath, I have a question for you. A simple question which is out of Java. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how do you create a thread in C or on Linux platform?
Okay, so we use this POSIX standard pthread create.
Yeah, have you done it anytime? You have used it?
Yeah. We
Okay,
used to use
super.
that.
Very nice. Okay. But you know, Jagannath, if you have done POSIX pthreads and all that, then Java thread is very easy for you because, okay, in C and C, C++, even C++ nowadays has a lot of libraries. Okay. But if you have done, you know, C programming, and if you have done, you know, threading in, you know, C language on Linux platform, then Java threads would be very easy for you because here you don't need to do anything. Everything the Java APIs will be taking care. Okay. Where in C POSIX thread, you will have to pass all parameters. You will have to do everything. You'll have to take care of the synchronization and all that. But here it is so simple. Java has abstracted everything. You don't need to know how it actually works at the bottom. Okay. So though at the bottom, it will make use of whatever you have done, right? Pthread and all that. On the top layer, at the abstract layer, Java is abstracted completely. Okay. So it will be very easy for you. Fine. Anyways, so let me start off with the session now. Okay. I'll show you, programs, how it works now. So let me get into the programs now. Okay, so I have a lot of programs over here. So we'll start one by one. So Jagannath, please do help me, in the
Yes, sure.
yeah. So I'm going to the first program, thread demo 1.java. I think all this program are there in your material. If there is any, just cross verify. Okay, if some of the programs are not there, I'll be sharing it with you. Is that okay, my dear friends? Hello, is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Right? Guys, respond. No, please. There are almost 150 people here. You don't respond on it. It's so bad here. Come on. It's really so bad. Okay.
Subhash, give me 5 seconds. I have a call coming up.
Cool.
Just
cool.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Others respond no fast. Okay, just cross verify. Okay, I'll be showing it to you over here practically because I have to show it practically. Cross verify. If there is any program missing, let me know. Fine. Okay. We'll just wait for 5 seconds. Jagannath will come back and we'll just. Jagannath, done? Yeah, okay, cool. So Jagannath, shall we open the first program?
Yes.
Okay, right. So what is that you can see in this program?
So thread demo is a launcher class. Then
yeah,
we
you
have
should
main
go, you should
method.
go very slow so that I can explain everything. Okay. Yeah. So
thread demo is thread demo 1 is a launcher class.
Okay. Before that. Okay. Now before that, if suppose, okay, I have a main program and I'm, creating multiple threads like this. Okay. So what is this called as? Even this is a thread, right? It is a main thread, isn't it?
Main thread. Correct.
This is basically the main. Even this is one thread of execution, my dear friends. Okay, now don't think only child threads are called as threads. Okay, so even this is your main thread. This is basically, this is also a thread. If suppose you don't create if you don't create any thread, okay, so all these days we have created lot of programs, right? All those were threads. Okay, only thing is it was just a single thread, a single sequence of execution. They were all threads only. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Right? So now what we are creating is, along with that main thread, we are creating some other threads along with it. Is that okay? Some other sequence of instructions, okay, with its own stack. Right. So Jagannath, you're getting a lot of calls?
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. We'll go ahead. You want to pick up the call so I can ask someone else to...
yeah, if possible.
Yeah, Firasat, shall we start, Firasat? You're there with me?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we'll get into the program now. Okay. Yeah. So tell me what is happening in this program.
Here we have a launcher class. In
Yeah,
that we
so
have a
the
main method.
1 minute. The moment we have this one program, no? This is one program, right?
Yes, sir.
This is one program, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Right? So it
Yes,
means,
sir.
do we have a thread here? Do we have a thread?
Yes, sir. We have a main thread.
Exactly. So this program itself is a thread, isn't it? This program itself is a thread, and this is basically a main thread, isn't it? Which can have which has the power to actually, create multiple threads, correct? No. So this itself is called as a main thread, isn't it, my dear friends? Guys, is that okay?
Yes.
Guys, is that okay? Hello. All right. So having said that, okay. Now what is the next one? Now you tell me, Firasat, okay, how do I represent a file in Java? How do I represent a file in Java here? We discussed, no, in the previous class. If suppose I wanted to represent one file, okay, so or a directory or whatever it is, how do I represent? Come to page number 222. Come to page number 222. Come to
Yes,
page
sir.
number 222, my dear friends. Okay, no? Did you come to page number 222?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now there, did you see that, I was representing that sample directory? Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In that program, I was asking whether if F is directory. Did you see that? F dot is directory. Did you notice
F
that?
dot is directory. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
F
I
dot is
noticed.
directory. Correct. Now, what is that F actually? What am I checking?
F
F
is a
means what?
file.
F is a
File,
file, no?
sir.
Which file is that? What is the name of that
Sample
file?
directory file.
Exactly.
Sample
So,
directory file.
yeah. So sample directory was the folder. Okay. So, I mean, there is nothing but a file. So that file is represented by what? Which class? If I want
File
to
class.
represent, yeah, if I want to represent any directory or a file in Java, I will make use of which class? You tell me. Which class I will make use of?
File class.
Exactly. I will make use
File.
of file, isn't it? When I say file F is equal to new file, okay, and then say, okay, so hello.txt, hello.txt. So actual file is hello.txt, isn't this the file? No. Okay.
Yes,
But
yes,
this
sir.
file is represented in the form of object in Java because Java is object-oriented programming language. Correct, no, Firasat?
Correct, sir.
Guys, did you understand? So what is F basically? F is nothing but hello.txt, isn't it? Because F is currently representing hello.txt. Guys, did you understand what I'm saying? Hello.
Yes, sir.
F is nothing but an object that is representing hello.txt. Being object-oriented programming language, we are representing everything in terms of objects, isn't it? Hello, correct? No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Correct,
So similarly, now we'll have thread. No, we'll have threads. No, we'll have threads.
Yes, yes, sir.
We have to represent threads in the form of objects, right? Yes or no?
Objects. Yes,
We have to
sir.
represent threads and objects. Now in Java, how do I represent these threads here? Okay, in the form of object, we should have a class, no? Like how we had a class.
Yes, sir. Thread class.
Exactly. For file, we had file class. Similarly, to represent a thread in Java, we have a class called as thread class. Hello. Okay, no? So
Yes,
thread
sir.
is
Okay.
a class that will contain or give us all information about a particular thread, right? So thread is a class that represents a particular thread in Java. Is that okay? Hello, is that okay, my
Okay.
dear friends? And when I say thread T, it means T is an object of type thread class that is actually representing one thread. Hello, is that okay?
Yes,
Clear with that?
yes, sir.
Yes or
Yes,
no? So whenever I want to represent any thread, then I have to make use of the thread class. Is that okay? Now coming back to this
Okay.
program, did you see what am I doing over here? I am creating an
Yes,
object of the thread class. Did you see that, Firasat? I'm creating,
yes,
or
sir.
no? Now what is T? T is an object of type
Object of thread class.
class.
Thread.
Now which thread
Yes.
is it representing? Which thread is T representing? Thread
Current
dot
thread.
current thread.
Current thread.
So current thread is a static method belonging to the thread class, which will give you an object reference of the current thread. This thread, it will give you all information about this thread. Guys, is that okay? Are you understanding what I'm
Okay, sir.
saying? Okay. I want to print the information of the current thread. Therefore, I am calling current thread method, and current thread method will, return me an instance of this current thread, all the information about this thread, and will store it into T. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, from now on, if I want to represent this current thread, I have to make use of T. Okay. Now, in the next line, what am I doing? I am printing
We are
the
printing.
information about the current thread. I'll just say T, and it will give all the information about this thread. Okay, no? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
then in the next line, what am I doing?
We are setting the name of the thread. T dot set
In
name.
this line, it will give one name. We'll see what is that name. Okay. It will give one name. That the name would be main. Okay. But I'm not liking this main. I want to give a new name to this thread. So what is the name I'm giving? I am changing the name of this thread to what? I'm giving a new name. What is that?
Shahrukh Khan's thread.
Shah Rukh Khan's thread.
Shahrukh
I'm
Khan.
giving a name to this thread as Shah Rukh Khan's thread. Okay. So whoever is your favorite actor, you can give their name. Not necessary. You have to give Shah Rukh Khan's thread, because in one of the batch, one student asked, sir, why are you giving Shah Rukh Khan's thread? I like someone else. Okay. You can give whatever name you want. Is that okay? I really not bothered. Okay. I just gave Shah Rukh Khan's thread because he came to my mind when I was actually writing this program. That's the only thing. Okay. Right. Now, then what happens? Then what
We are
happens?
printing the current name of the thread.
So here it would be main. Here what would have been there now?
It would be Shah Rukh Khan's
It would be
thread.
Shah Rukh Khan. Here it would be main. After changing
Main.
the name to Shah Rukh Khan, I will now, if I print this, I will get Shah Rukh Khan over here. Is that okay?
Okay,
Is that
sir.
okay? Right? Okay. Then what am I doing? I'll come into this. I have a try catch block. Okay.
Try
Now,
catch.
Firasat,
Yes,
why did I write try catch block over here? Tell me. What will happen if I don't give try catch block over here? Tell me.
To
What will
avoid
happen?
infinite loop.
1 second. What happened? What happened? No, what will happen if I don't give try catch block?
Error will be there will be some errors.
Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, Jagannath, correct, right? See, you remember I told you about checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions? You remember?
Yes,
You
sir.
remember I told you about checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions,
yes,
isn't it? So what do you
Yes,
mean by
sir.
checked exceptions? Checked exceptions are those
The
exceptions which are
exception which we
mandatory to be caught.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so there is one method over here called as sleep method. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
This sleep method, it is mandate this inside the sleep method, built-in method, it says that it will be throwing an exception. Okay, and it is a checked exception that it is throwing. So it is mandatory that you have to catch this exception, or you will have to declare that I am throwing this exception. Did you understand this?
Okay, sir. Yes,
Guys,
sir.
any
Understood.
doubt here? Okay, why am I writing try catch block over here? I'm writing try catch block because the sleep method will give you an exception. So you have to either, sleep method can give an exception. So that exception is a checked exception that the sleep method is giving. So either you should, catch that exception, or if you don't want to write try catch, you have to say here throws declaration. Did I tell you? Didn't I tell you that whenever you have a checked exception, either you have to handle it or you have to declare that you are throwing it? Isn't it, my dear friends? Yes or no?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
didn't I tell you that?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that is why I'm putting this try catch block over here. Is that okay? Right now, what happens
Okay,
here?
sir.
I have a for loop which runs from 5 to 0. Okay, backwards, right? And every time I run, I would actually print this value for the for loop. What will happen? You tell me, Firasa. First time I'll print 5. And then what am I doing? I have a method called a sleep method. Sleep method is used to wait this program, or suspend this program for 1000 milliseconds. For 1000 milliseconds, this program is not going to do anything. It will just come into the halt state, okay, or in the suspend state, so that the CPU can execute some other process which is running. Guys, is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Is that okay? Hello, is that okay? I'm just introducing
Yes,
sleep method for you over here. Okay, it will wait for 1000 milliseconds, and only then this process will again start running. This thread will start running. Is that okay? Hello, you want to ask me
Okay.
anything, my dear friends? Guys, do you want to ask me anything in this program? Okay, no. Okay, so first it will print that thread information. Okay, and then it will change the name of the thread, and you can change the name thread over here, and then it will start printing from 5 to 0 with an interval of 1000 milliseconds, and then the program will terminate. So shall we see that, my dear friends? Okay, shall we see
Okay.
that? Okay, very interesting. No, right now let us see
Yes,
that.
sir.
Okay, Java C thread demo1.java, enter key. Okay, and then what am I doing now? I'm running this program, Java thread demo1. Okay, enter. Now did you see what is happening, guys? Did you see that when it's printing 5 4 3 2 1, there was a interval time of 1000 milliseconds? Did you
Yes,
notice
sir.
it, my dear friends? Okay, so initially it said the name of the thread was main, and then it changed the name to Shah Rukh Khan's thread. See, first time I'm printing this thread, it was main, and then it gave Shah Rukh Khan's thread. Okay, and then it started printing from 5 4 3 2 1. I think you all observed that interval, isn't it? If you want, I can run it once again. See the interval: 5 4000 milliseconds, 3000 milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds, 1000 milliseconds comes to an end. Is that okay? So how many threads are running over here, guys? How many threads are running over here, my dear friends, in my program? Tell me. Hello. 5 threads are. Hey, Dishanand, only
Single
one
thread.
thread. Yeah, only one thread is running. Dishanand, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Dishanand, unmute yourself quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did you say 5 threads?
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
5 times one thread is printing 5 4 3 2 1. That's all. Only one thread
Yes.
is running.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Correct?
Got
No,
it.
only one thread is printing that 5 4 3 2 1. There is no other thread. Only one thread is there. Correct? No.
Yes, sir.
So Disha, what is the name of the thread?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay, Shah Rukh Khan said, okay. Now,
Yes.
what does this 5 indicate? This 5 will indicate the priority of the thread. Okay, no? So you can set the priority of the thread. What is the priority? Okay, so first priority, second priority. You can tell the CPU that, boss, this thread has high priority, so start executing him and all that. You can say. So this is basically the default priority set by the Java JVM for you. Okay, and this is indicating the group name. Okay, so several threads can belong to one group, right? So dealing with the priority and group and all is beyond the scope of this particular course, will not be discussed. I'll only introduce how threading and multi-threading can be worked. Okay, no? So if you want more, if you're more interested in threads and all that, there is a separate 1,000 pages book itself called as multi-threading. You can read that. Okay, but don't go to read it now. That is not needed for now. Learn Java for now very neatly. That is more than enough. Is that okay, my dear friends? Is that okay? Okay, now, so I will get into the next program. I'll remove the class file that was generated. Okay, now thread demo 2.java. Okay, now, so what is happening over here, guys? What is happening over here? So Firasa, tell me what is happening here.
So we are creating another thread, sir.
We are creating another thread. See, there are a lot.
No, we are having two threads in a single program.
Okay, first thing is that you have to understand is that whenever you want to create a new thread, okay, you have to implement runnable interface. My dear friends, what is that? Whenever you want to create a new thread, I'm going very slowly so that you will understand. Whenever you're creating a new thread, you have to implement what interface, guys? Put that in the chat box. What interface you have to
Runnable
implement?
interface.
Okay, runnable interface. Okay, no? So when you are implementing runnable interface, what do you mean by implementing an interface, Firasa? Tell me.
Implementing an
When
interface
we
is
say that a class has to implement runnable, what does it mean? What does it mean? Quickly tell me. See the chat box at least and tell me. Whenever you are implementing,
overriding the method.
you have to
methods of,
see whenever you are. Why are you taking so much of time, Firasa, to say? It is so simple, no? Whenever you are implementing any interface, what does it mean? It means that that interface will contain one method, okay, and that method has to be overridden, isn't it, my dear friends? Firasa, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why are you not saying then? Whenever a class is implementing interface, what does it mean? That that interface will contain one method to be overridden, that we'll have to override. Okay, but until unless it is a marker interface. For marker, what is the difference between your normal interface and marker interface? Tell me.
Marker interface is just to mark the interface, sir. It doesn't have any
Yeah,
methods
it doesn't have anything to implement, isn't it? It is just to mark that the class is special. That's all. So marker interface has nothing to implement. Whereas, okay, so this is not a marker interface. So we have something to implement. So which is that method? Okay, that method is called as run method. Okay, so any class that implements runnable interface has to override which method, my dear friends? Guys, tell me which method. It has to override run method. So I have implemented over here, isn't it? So if you want to, okay, if you want to implement threading, then you have to have this run method. Okay, this is first way. Okay, my dear friends, hello, listen to me. So this program which I'm showing over here, which is currently on your screen, this is one way of creating threads. Okay, this is, tell me guys, this is, put that in the chat box. This is one way of creating the threads. This is one way of creating a thread. Okay, now I'll show you this. Guys, put that in the chat box. One way. This is the first way. I'll show you one more way in the next program. This is one way of creating threads. They'll ask you an interview. Show me another way of creating threads and all that. So whichever you feel comfortable, you can use it. Okay, no? Right? This is one way. Okay, so shall we start from the launcher class?
Okay, sir.
Firasat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Firasat, tell me.
In the launcher class, we have a main method. There we are creating new thread.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. We have a launcher class. We have a main method. So did you see that I'm creating an object of one more class by the name new thread?
Yes, sir.
See that this is not new thread. This is the class which is named as new thread. Did you see that?
Yes, yes,
you are there. You're understanding or not? Guys, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm going
Understanding.
very
I think I have a network problem here, sir.
You have a network problem, huh?
I'm replying, but you are not able to listen, sir.
Okay. Fine. So this is basically called as what? This is basically I'm creating a new object, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Of which class? What is the class name?
New thread class.
Okay. Now tell me, answer my question. Forget about this. Answer my question. In Java, if I want to represent any thread, which class I have to use?
Thread class.
Thread class. Okay. 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 Keep that in mind. Now, so when I say new thread, what will happen? You tell me. Whenever you create an object, what will happen first time?
New
Con-
Hmm.
constructor
will be called.
constructor will get called.
Vaishnavi, can you please mute yourself, Vaishnavi? Tell me, Firasa, tell me.
Constructor will be called, sir.
Guaranteed, huh? Whenever you're creating new object,
Yeah.
constructor will be called guarantee, no?
Yes, sir. Guarantee.
Constructor. Then why are you so doubtful? A constructor will be called, correct? So is this
Yes,
the
sir.
class for which we created object now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, inside this I have a state called as thread t, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is this the constructor?
Yes, sir. That's a
It is a
constructor.
constructor. So I have a new object, and inside that constructor, what am I doing now? Tell me.
New thread. We are
I
creating
am creating a new thread. Did you
new
see
thread.
that? New thread, and this thread will represent which object? This thread is corresponding to which object?
T.
A. Correct, yeah, correct. So see here. Okay, this is the thread. This is one class, no? This is one
Yes,
class.
sir.
Thread demo 2,
Yes.
isn't it? This is one class, right? So will
Yes,
it
sir.
represent this class?
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
It will represent. Yes, thread demo 2. Sir, it's written in that class, no, sir.
Hold on. Cool. Aram se. Okay. Now this is your main thread, no? Class demo thread demo 2 is your main thread, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no? This is your, assume that all these are not there. Assume that this is not there. All these are not there. Assume it is not there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Only this is there. So this will become one thread.
Yes, sir.
Guys, hello. Yes or no? This becomes one thread, guys. Guys, hello. Till here, assume that top part is not there. This will become one thread, no?
Yes, sir.
Firasat?
Yes, sir.
Now this thread is calling one new object, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is, see, new thread. It is calling one new object, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now this thread created a new object, okay, and then you know what happened? Okay, it came to the constructor over here. Okay, no?
Constructed.
Okay,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Okay, now are we creating a new object now, isn't it?
Yes, sir. We are
Of which
creating
class? Of which class?
new thread.
New thread class, correct? Now inside
Yes.
this, what am I creating now?
We are creating an object new thread. We are creating a new thread, sir.
So we are creating a new thread, isn't it? Okay,
Yes,
give me a moment. Okay, see here, we had the main thread, correct? No? Now
Yes, sir.
we are creating a new thread, correct? No? After
Yes,
creating
sir.
new thread, we have to associate this thread with one object, correct? No?
Yes, sir.
Which is that object? Which is that object? This object that we are associating with this thread is the object of the class new thread.
New thread.
You understanding?
Yes,
An
sir.
object. Didn't understand?
Yeah, yes, sir. Understood. We are associating it with new thread. Yes,
Guys,
sir.
tell me, guys, you understood? Did not understand? Guys, tell me you understood, you did not understand. We had the main thread. Guys, you have to respond. Please respond here, else I'll not know. We are wasting time. Please respond. Whatever it is you did not understand, understood, whatever it is, respond. Okay, have the common sense to please respond. Okay, else it is really irritating that when you don't respond, I won't understand whether you have understood or not. Right? So we see now you are replying. Understand from my end also. Now I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, so we have this main thread. What this thread belongs to which class? Thread demo 2, correct now?
Yes, sir.
Thread demo 2. Okay, now here I created one object. What is that object name?
A new.
I didn't give any
New
object name. I didn't give any object name, but still I created a new object. No, what was object? See
Yes,
here.
sir.
What was the object I created? See here, new thread, new thread.
New thread object.
I have not assigned. I've created object, but I have not given any name to it. That's all, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
So I created one object here. Assume there is an object over here. Correct? There is an object here.
Yes, sir.
Now, when I'm creating this object, it went to the constructor. No.
Yes, sir.
It went to the constructor. Yes or no? It came here. Correct? No. It is in the process of creating an object, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Firasat, if you don't understand, say I did not understand. Absolutely okay.
I understood, sir. I understood.
Now what am I doing in that constructor? I'm calling new thread, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm calling new thread, no? So it means I'm in the process of creating a new thread, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now when I'm creating a new thread, okay, I have to tell this thread should be associated with which object, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now with which object it has to be associated is given here. You see this? This.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
What is this now?
Okay.
This means
New
what?
thread.
This. This is not new thread here. This is thread.
Oh, yeah,
It
yes,
has to
sir.
be
That's
associated
what-
with one object, which is nothing
Yes,
but
yes,
this.
sir.
This is representing this object which you are creating now.
Oh, okay, sir. Yes.
Getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Hello, guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, this is nothing but which object, which is nothing but this object. When you call this, what happens? When you call any method with respect to a new object, that will pass as the this node to inside this.
Yes, sir.
Rasat, you're lying or you really understood? Honestly,
I
did you
understood,
or-
sir, but it's confusing, sir.
Okay.
I understood till that this parameter, sir. I understood till there, sir.
That till there only I've explained. I've not gone further. Till here only I've
That's
explained.
it. I understood, sir. I understood.
Okay, guys, how many of you did not understand? Tell me you did not understand. Just tell me.
Hello, this is Jagannath here.
Yeah,
So
Jagannath.
the first argument, is it mandatory that it should be passed to the thread?
Not
or
necessary.
it can be null, not necessary, right?
Not necessary, but yes, it depends again. It depends. Hold on for some more time. You'll get some programs. I think you'll be able to understand. For now, let us not discuss more. Let us understand this for now. Because when this is only not understood, then we'll not be able to understand others. Others will get confused. Jagannath, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Let me see whether people have understood this or not. Okay, right?
Okay.
Yeah, guys, did you understand this now? Just honestly tell me in the chat box. I am associate, this is nothing but new thread. Okay, when I call new thread, okay, this constructor gets called, and inside this there is a this being passed, which represents this new object. Okay, and that object is being associated with a new thread that I'm creating over here. It's a new thread. Is that okay? Guys, you understand that? Hello, till here did you understand? Let us not discuss anything else for now. Got it? I'm continuing further now. Okay, now, okay, cool. So what is that thread name? I'm giving one name to that thread. What is that name of that thread?
Amitabh.
Yeah, so I'm associating one name to it. I'm saying to which object this is associated, and then to which, what is the name of that thread. So I'm naming that as Amitabh. Okay, now after that what happens? Okay, I'm just printing that information over here. I'm just printing that information over here. Okay, and then I am calling t dot start. Okay, until I say t dot start, the thread will not start running, my dear friends. I've created a thread, but if you want the thread to start, you have to say t dot start. When I say t dot start, internally to the start, okay, we don't need, we won't call, okay, internally inside the start method, okay, in the thread library, that start method will internally call run, okay, on this object. Is that okay? Jagannath, are you understanding what I'm saying? Jagannath, did you understand?
Yes, yes, I got it.
Have you understood why you're passing this over here? Okay, no?
Yes.
When you
yeah.
pass this to this, okay, so this t dot start will call the run method on this object. So the start method will call this run method, and this run method will start running. Is that okay?
Okay.
Guys, I
Okay.
can go slow. Don't worry. Don't hesitate. Ask me doubts. Okay, no, my intention is you have to understand. Okay, then never, don't hesitate. Please ask me. It's okay. When I was learning threads for the first time, some 10, 12 years back, even I was confused. Okay, so you can ask me doubts. Absolutely okay. Right? Now, guys, did you understand this now? Okay, so I created a new thread, associated this object with this thread. I gave a name to this thread. I'm printing that thread information, child thread information, and I am starting this thread. So when I call this start method, okay, so when I call this start method, internally this start will call this run method belonging to this object. Okay, and it will call run, and this will start running. Okay, so inside this is what your thread is supposed to do. Okay, what is your thread supposed to do? It is printing this number from 1 to 5. Okay, and it is just printing its value over here. Okay, no, so totally, Firasat, now tell me, in my current program, how many threads are there?
2 threads, sir.
2 threads. One is the main thread, the other one is the
New
child thread,
yes.
isn't it? So what is the child
Yes.
thread name? Amitabh, correct? No?
Amitabh. Yes.
Okay, so by writing from in this line, by just writing this line, okay, a new thread got generated, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Correct,
Just
sir.
by writing,
Correct.
just by saying new thread, okay, a new thread got generated over here, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you know what happens, Firasat. Okay, now then what happens, you tell me first. Okay, I'll repeat once again. The moment you create an object new thread, Okay, it will come here. Okay, it creates a new thread, associates this object with this thread. Okay, and then tries to print this information. It will start the thread. It happens so fast. It is not because I am speaking, it is slow, but it happens within fraction of seconds. Okay, it calls the start method. Okay, inside that start, it will call run method. It will come for I is equal to 1. Okay, and then 1 less than or equal to 5. Okay, it will come inside and it will say child thread is printing. What is the value it prints now?
It will be 1, sir.
It will be 1. And what is the next line? What is there in the next line?
Sleep.
It is sleep for how many milliseconds?
1000 milliseconds.
When it is sleeping, what will happen? Tell me. It will go to this
Halt,
thread will go to halt state, suspend state, isn't
halt
it?
state.
It gets
Yes, sir.
suspended for
Yes,
some
sir.
time because it is sleeping. No, the CPU cannot waste its time. No. Okay, when it is sleeping,
Yes,
should
sir.
the CPU also sit? Should the CPU also sleep?
No, sir. The time.
No, it should
set
wait.
is
It should
given to
start
other-
executing. Yeah, it should start executing
yes.
the thread, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in my program, there is one more thread, that is the main thread, isn't it? So when it is sleeping,
sir.
now the control will come to this one. Okay, no. Now
Okay,
it will start executing thread dot current thread. It will print the current thread the information over here, and then it will get into the for loop. It will start printing 1 now. So it will say main thread 1, and then this will go to sleep. Correct? No. When this
Yes,
goes
sir.
to sleep, by then this fellow would have woken up, isn't it? So Amitabh
Yes,
would have
sir. Yes,
woken up,
sir.
and Amitabh will now again go to for loop once again. He'll print thread 2, and then he'll again sleep. By the time he sleeps, this fellow would have woken up, isn't it?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and then he will print 2 and then he will go to sleep. So alternatively this keeps happening, running, isn't it? So totally 2
Yes,
threads
sir.
are running. Now if you ask me, Subhash, which thread will run first, whether the new thread will run first or the main thread will run first? Okay, no guarantee. There is no guarantee in any operating system which thread will run. Is that okay? It depends
Okay.
on various
Okay.
factors, various operating system, various load on your operating system, which server you are using, where it is happening, everything. So there is no way you will know which thread has to run first or which process has to run first. Is that okay? So we will run this.
Okay, sir.
Now which thread is running first? Did you understand this program now, my dear friends? Guys,
Yes,
did
sir.
you
Understood,
understand this
sir.
program now? Okay, now shall I run this code and show it to you? Okay, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, now. Okay, so which thread ran first now? Okay, so child thread, it said Amitabh 5 main and then thread main 5, then main thread only ran first 1. You see that first child thread will say 1. Do you want me to run this once again, my dear friends? Guys, do you want to run this program once
Yes,
again?
sir.
Yeah, okay. Do you see there the time seconds?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
It
when you
will
keep
take
running this
1000
multiple times, okay, this might change in your system. This might change. Sometimes child will run first, sometimes main will run first. It all depends on your system load. Okay, we cannot guarantee which runs first. Is that okay, my dear friends?
Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
did you understand this program? Guys, okay, not okay. Now, this is the first way to create threads. Okay, so Jagannath, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, Jagannath, can you please
Yeah.
explain the step that I followed here now to create a thread? The first method.
Okay. So we created a new thread object or class,
We had a launcher class.
larger class,
Inside that
and
class,
we
hmm,
yes. Okay. So inside the class, we called new object of type new thread.
okay, so that was another class, isn't it?
Another
New thread
class.
was-
Yes.
Okay, then
So in the new thread constructor,
no, that class has to implement runnable.
yes, that
That is
class has to
important.
implement runnable, and it
Ah.
has to implement run method,
It has
override
to
run method.
implement override run method. Correct. Okay.
Correct.
Then
So in the constructor of new thread class, we create new object called thread
of type thread class, thread T
of type thread,
equal to new thread. Okay.
new thread, and we pass this.
That
This.
this was
So this is
representing what?
this was representing. So actually, the thread will accept the class of type runnable. So we
Okay.
actually implement runnable. So
Yes.
it passed as runnable.
Yes.
And then we call t dot start, so which calls run method in the runnable class.
Okay. So when do you say that the thread is running? When do you say the thread is started running? Thread is created different.
The
thread is
function,
running.
okay, when the function is the run function is basically executing, which means the thread is executing.
Exactly, correct. So this is the first way of creating a thread, isn't it?
Yes.
So be with me, Jagannath. I'm going to tell you one more method of doing it. Okay, Firasat and Jagannath,
Okay.
be with me, right? Now, Okay, this is the third way of creating, sorry, the third program, which will explain you the second way of creating thread. Okay, now, right? Now, tell me what is happening over here now. Okay, tell me now.
So we have launcher class thread demo 3. Then we have
a
main
launcher
method.
class. Okay, we have a main method.
Then we create object my thread of type new thread.
Okay, right. Okay, so let me come to the new thread class. Okay, so is this new thread class, implementing your, runnable interface?
No, it basically extends thread class.
It is extending the thread, my dear friends. Okay, no, that was implementing runnable interface. Now here it is, I am inheriting the thread class. Guys, did you see that? I am inheriting thread class. So when I'm inheriting thread class, what does new thread become? What does new thread become?
The child.
Yeah, so what is new thread? New thread is a thread.
Is a thread, yes. New thread is a thread.
Such a beautiful concept. New thread is a thread now. Correct now?
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. Correct. So now what happens? Okay, I'm calling this a new thread over here, right now. Okay, so yes. Jagannath, you asked me a question in the previous, section. Okay, that is, let me come here. What is that? The demo 2.java. You asked me, should I pass this object to the thread every time? Did you ask me this question? Okay.
Yes.
So I am calling this new thread. That is, I'm creating an object of new thread, isn't it? Because here new thread was not a thread.
It implements runnable class.
Implements runnable, that's all. And I had to create a new thread and associate this object with this particular thread that implemented runnable, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
And why is that thread class tells, why is that Java says that if you want to pass an object to the thread that has to implement runnable, why does it say that? Tell me. Why is it mandatory that a class has to implement runnable? Tell me. It is because
the run method.
Exactly, right. No, so if it is mandatory that, if suppose the Java says you have to implement runnable method, it indirectly means that you have to implement run method, because the start method is going to call run method internally. Correct? No.
Yes.
So if suppose the Java says, boss, you don't implement runnable and all, it's okay, but give that run method. Okay. So what if you forget to implement run method?
Then we have to extend. Yeah.
No. Did you understand the concept, my dear friends? Why is it Java saying mandatory that you have to implement run method? Okay. Now, why does Subhash say that in my Java class or in my programming class, it is mandatory that you have to have some kind of graduation, especially science graduation? Because Subhash knows that in your graduation, you would have learned something about basics of digital electronics or something about programming, so that it is easy for me to do. Because I understood that in engineering, they would have taught you some basic level of programming, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So that is the reason. Okay. So Java says this class has to implement runnable. So when Java says this class has to implement runnable, it is sure that the programmer has to definitely implement run. It means the programmer would have definitely given the method, okay, definition of run. Because if a programmer is implemented runnable and if he has not overridden this run method, then the compiler will throw an error. So it is guaranteed that, okay, it is guaranteed that any class that implements runnable will definitely have a run method. So the thread class can directly aramse call t.start, and within that start they can call run method. Guys, are you understanding? It looks complicated, but very, very good concept here. Very nice concept. Did you understand this? Okay. Jagannath,
so if I understand correctly, the thread class might have already implement runnable.
It is, yes. Thread method is already runnable. Correct.
Okay.
Thread method, correct. Now see this program. See this program. Okay. See this program. Okay. Now I don't want to actually, so if you can see here, I don't want to implement runnable because thread has already. If thread has implemented runnable, it means my thread is a thread which is also a runnable.
Yes.
I've discussed this in interface chapter.
Correct.
Okay, no. So now in this case, what happens is that, okay, see here, I've given the run method over here because start will definitely call run. Okay, guys, I'll go slowly. Don't worry. We'll have a lot of discussions and then only go. Okay. Now, so here, Jagannath, what is happening? I'm calling a constructor of new thread. Did you see that? I mean,
yes, we are calling constructor of new thread.
And inside this, now I want to give a name. In the previous program, I'll show you what I did. In the previous program, threaddemo.java, I called.
We gave name. Yes.
We gave this and Amitabh. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? We gave this
Yes.
and Amita because I wanted to associate an object with this thread. Okay, no? But whereas
Yes.
here, I don't want to associate any object because it's already easy. It's extending thread.
Yes.
Okay, and then what did I do? What did I do? I did super Subhash. Means what? I am calling the constructor parameter,
Of thread.
single parameter constructor of thread, isn't it?
Yes.
So this Subhash will go and sit there. So super is
Correct.
calling the constructor of thread class, isn't it, my dear friends? Okay, and then
Yes.
what am I doing? I'm saying child thread. Okay, and I'm just printing this. Did you see this information?
Yes.
Previous program, it was what? In the previous program, it was T. I was printing T. Did you see that? I was printing T because this was my thread. This was my thread. This was my thread. Did you understand? This was my
Yes.
thread. Whereas in my current program, okay, if you can, okay, in my current program, new thread is my thread. New
Yes.
thread is only my thread, and this will be containing this. This
Correct.
will contain my current thread because that is a thread. I don't need to say T and all those things. Yes or no? And here
Yes.
I'm not saying T dot start. I'm just saying start. Okay,
Start.
which is a method of class thread.
Thread. Correct.
In the previous case, I told T dot start. If you notice
Mm.
the previous one, okay, thread demo, what was it? 2 dot Java. Did you see here? I said T dot start because I wanted to call the start method of this thread class. Did you see that? T dot start.
Yes.
But here
Yes.
I don't need to say T dot start. I don't need to say T dot start because, okay, new thread itself is a thread and it is inheriting thread class. So it means start means I'm calling the start method belonging to the thread class, isn't it?
Thread
It is
class.
completed. And start method will internally call run, which is there over here. Run method has been overridden over here, and then I'll execute this, my dear friends. Then both the threads would be running the same thing. Only thing is there are two different ways of creating your thread. Guys, you understood? You did not understand? Don't hesitate. Tell me. Okay, it looks complicated, but because if you try to read threads by yourself, it will be more difficult, guys. It will be very difficult to understand. Okay, so understand here itself. Is that okay? Don't simply say understood. Please ask me doubts. I'm very happy to explain to you. End of the day, I want you to understand. My interest is not to complete the course. My interest is to make you understand, guys. My only, so I'm saying you so much because you can ask me doubts. Anyone you want, you can please. Any doubt? Jagannath, you have any doubt?
No doubt.
Okay. If you have gone through my earlier sessions and all that, like this point and all, then it would have been very easy for you. Shall I proceed further, guys? Hello, shall I proceed further? It's like a story here. If you can follow like a story, it's very easy. Shall I proceed? I'm waiting for someone who wants to ask me doubt. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Okay, right. Run. Okay. It is starting from 0, is it? It is starting from 0 to 6. Okay. Guys, the same thing, two different ways of running the thread. Is that okay? Jagannath, is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, run. Okay, so what is the next program? We'll start seeing. Okay. From now on, I think I'll be using one method, but I'm not sure which method I'm using. Let me see that. Okay, I think we are implementing runnable only. Okay, right. Okay. Chalo. So we'll start from here now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Jagannath. So here. So how many objects am I creating?
We are creating 3 thread. So totally 4 thread will be in.
Yeah. So okay, hold on, Jagannath. I know you're super fast. Now there are many others. So slowly. Can you please explain slowly?
Okay. So we are creating the object my thread
Exactly.
of type new thread.
Okay. So it'll go here. It'll go to
Yes.
this place. Okay. It goes over here, isn't it? So
Yes.
I've created one object. So let me write over here. Let me write it. 1 second, Jagannath. Okay. Okay. So now, what was the name of that? I forgot. What was the name? Thread demo 4. So I had the main thread. What was the name of this thread, Jagannath?
Main thread.
Demo 4.
Oh, thread demo.
Thread demo 4. Okay. Then what happened? I was creating an object, isn't it? I
Yes.
created an object called as my thread 1. Okay. Okay. Let me write it over here before writing this. Before creating a thread, I created an object. What is the object? What was the object, Jagannath?
My thread 1.
Okay. This was an object. I'll call it as my thread 1, okay, and then I came to that constructor, isn't it? I came here.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what did I pass here to this?
String.
What is the string name? What is the string here? Amitabh. Did you see that?
Amitabh.
I
Yes.
passed Amitabh. So what is n containing now?
Amitabh.
Amitabh. Okay. Then I enter into this. Then I have a string called as name of thread. I am populating that name of thread with Amitabh. Okay. Now
Okay.
inside this, I am creating a new thread. Did you see that?
Yes.
I'm creating a new
Creating
thread and associating this. This means what? My thread 1.
My thread 1.
My thread 1, and I'm giving the name for that thread. What is the name of that thread?
Amitabh.
Amitabh. And I'm printing that, and then I'm starting that thread, isn't it?
Yes.
So which is the thread what is the name of the thread that I started now? I created a thread, associated this object with this thread, and gave this thread name as Amitabh, isn't it?
Amitabh.
Amitabh. Okay. And that started running. Okay. Oh, yo.
Yes.
1 second. By the time I explain threads to you, I will become thread.
Okay.
Okay. Right. 1 second. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Where is that? Here. Okay. Right. Now what happens? Okay. So this started running and it started from 0 to whatever it is. It started printing and it went to sleep. Correct? No?
Correct.
Okay. Now by then what happens? The control will now be given to the main thread over here. Right? And
Yes.
then it now start creating the new thread.
Thread.
So, new thread. Okay. So let me come to this place. So it created a new object over here. Okay. So then what happens? It comes to the constructor over here, right? It
Yes.
comes to the constructor. What is the string that I passed? Shahrukh.
Shahrukh.
So Shahrukh will be here. I'm populating the string with that. And then again, I'm creating a new thread, associating this my thread 2 with this thread and giving a name to that thread as what? Okay, name of
Shahrukh.
what? Shahrukh I gave. And then I'm starting that thread. Correct? No? I'll say
Correct.
t dot start. So what will happen? Now again a new thread started. What is this known as MT2, and this thread name
Shahrukh.
is Shahrukh. It is called as Shahrukh. Okay, then what will happen? What will happen now? Then again new thread, new object, same thing, new object. Okay, new thread, it comes here. Okay, then 3 threads will start running, isn't it? So
Yes.
this is okay, another object. Okay, so it is MT2, right? And what is it? This is called as,
MT3. Right?
okay, MT3, yeah. And this is called as Amir, correct? No?
Amir.
So this
Yes.
will have a run method. This will have a run method.
Run method.
And this will have a run method. 3 separate stack frames. Okay, no?
Yes.
Run, separate stack frames. So in total, how many threads are there? Guys,
4
put in the
threads.
box. How many threads are there in total here in this program? 4 threads are there. Did you see that? Okay, what are each threads doing? Each thread is executing the same code, isn't it? Yes or no? So first it will run from 0 to 5, it is printing, and with an interval of 1000 milliseconds. Isn't it, my dear friends? Hello?
Yes.
Or no? Guys, everyone, is it okay? Right? Okay, now shall I run that code?
Yes.
Okay. See whether if it is running it. So can you please explain this output, Jagannath?
Yes. So there will be run method on each of Amitabh thread, Shahrukh
Okay.
thread.
Okay, so totally each thread started running and it said it started printing its output, isn't it? First
Yes.
it is printing its information. Then
Name.
it get into the, then it came to the main. Okay,
Yes.
and then I think each one started executing its it started running. So in
Yes,
run
it
mode,
started running. For
It
each
start-
iteration, it prints I value.
I value. For each iteration, it prints I value. So totally 6 times it is printing. Okay. And then
Yes.
Amitabh exited, Shah Rukh Khan exited, and Amir also exited, main also exited. Okay. Did you see
Yes.
this, my dear friends? Hello. Doubt here? Guys, any doubt? Hello. Okay. By the way, can you give one practical application of thread, my dear friends? Any practical application of thread? Guys, any practical application of thread? Jagannath, you have any practical application for thread?
Yeah, so I used to say the web server is a practical application. When
What
you
server?
web server.
Web server, okay. Web server, I think, okay. How do you do that as a thread actually?
Okay, for each client, it has to wait on read. receive
Client is a process, no? Each client, okay. Oh, okay. You are saying web client,
web server.
Okay.
So whenever
Okay.
a client is connected, the server has to listen. The server has to listen. He has to block on receive call. So there has to be multiple threads on each and every clients.
Okay, but I think web server might be, I'm not sure. Okay, but still there are chances it can be implemented even as a process, different process taking care of different things. Okay, and so in a client server environment, okay, very hard to handle, multiple clients with a single, with threads. Okay, so basically what happens, server would actually do a fork and create a process. Okay, rather than a thread. But yes, it could be done, but it is quite complicated. Okay, so I think in a very really big web server applications, it would always be a process rather than a thread. Okay, so and one more thing is that our students may not understand that. So let me give a simple example. Okay, so guys, how many of you have seen this Microsoft Word document? Microsoft Word document, have you seen, my dear friends? Okay, now of course, what a kind of question, everybody would have seen. Now when you're typing some paragraph, okay, have you seen some red color mark coming below that, beneath the words, if you've done some kind of spelling mistake and all that? Yes or no? So this is basically a word processor, no, right? That is called as multi-threading. It means you are doing the typing work behind, by what is that, what do you say, behind the scenes. It is doing that, grammar check, spell check, it is doing, isn't it? So that is one of the example of multi-threading. Multiple threads working on, it won't correct the grammar, it will only tell you that, yeah, sometimes, okay, it will correct the grammar also. Okay, so that is multi-threading. One thread is allowing you to type, the other thread is highlighting the wrong parts, and some other thread is correcting the grammar and all that, isn't it, my dear friends? So that is basically called as, multi-threading. Jagannath, what is your opinion?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so guys, you can call this as an example for multi-threading here. One process, okay, where in one process multiple threads are executing on the same main thread. Guys, do you understand this? Hello? Okay,
and also suggestions, right?
And also suggestions, they're all kind of, different threads doing different activity, my dear friends. Okay, this is basically an example of, multi-threading. Okay, even in Gmail also, okay, you would be attaching and you will also be writing the body, that is also multi-threading. Okay, no, and there are several examples like that. Okay, so if you say your own example, when you are doing some, when you are reading some book, you'll also be, listening to music, so that is also multi-threading, what you're doing. Okay, no, so that's how it is. Okay, so having said that, okay, now we'll go with one more program. Guys, till here understood? Hello guys, till here, did you understand? Okay, cool. Right, now what is the next one? What was the number? I forgot the number. Thread demo 5, is it? Okay, I think thread demo 5. Okay, so what is happening over here? Okay, so we have, okay, let us see the output and then you tell me what is happening over here. Okay, I'll let me first execute the previous one and then you tell me what is the difference between the previous one and this one. Thread demo 5.java. Observe this code, observe the output of this. Oh, sorry, this is 5. Ours was 4, right? Java C thread demo 4.java. Java thread demo 4. Okay, so see this code. Okay, did you observe this code, guys? Just take a snapshot or something so that I can show you this. See there what I'm doing. We have main here. See main here. Main is also executing simultaneously. Did you see that with other threads? Main is also simultaneously executing it. Did you see that, guys? Okay, so, okay. Now let us run this next program. So guys, did you see what is happening over here? Any idea? Can you please put that in the chat box? Guys, what is happening in the chat box? So Jagannath, what is happening?
So main thread was not executing along with other threads.
Yeah, did you see that? Main thread was separate. Main thread is executing at the last, isn't it?
Yes.
It means main thread was waiting for other threads to complete its operation, and then only it joined the other threads, isn't it?
Correct.
Guys, agree, disagree? Put that in the chat box. Okay. So main thread was waiting for other threads to complete. Okay, no. So how do you make one thread wait for other threads in Java? Okay, so we have something called as, okay, so what was the name of this thread demo 5.java? Okay, so we have a method called as, join. Okay, if you can see here. So our main thread was waiting for, okay, the OB1, that is your object 1 to, wait, it was waiting on object 1, object 2, and object 3. Did you guys observe here? So whichever thread is calling join, it will be waiting for that particular thread on which this join method is called. I will repeat once again. Okay, listen to me. Whichever thread is calling join, okay, so that thread will wait for the thread with which this join was called. Is that okay? So this join was called with respect to obj ob1, that is your new thread. Did you see here? Okay, let us start from first. Okay, so Jagannath, can you help me from first?
Yes. So we have a launcher class called thread 5.
Okay.
We have main method.
Okay.
Then we create object obj1 of
Okay.
new thread.
Okay.
Uh,
Going. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Then
pass the string as 1.
yes, passing string as 1. Then the one is been in the variable thread name.
Okay.
Then we create t of type thread.
Okay.
And we pass this and the name.
Okay. Right. Okay. And then we run the thread, isn't it?
Yes.
So one is running. So similarly, the other 2 threads also will run, right? So total
Yes.
3 threads are running. 1, 2, and 3. 3 threads are running with the name 1, 2, and 3, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay. And then OB1 is first thread, OB2 is second thread, and OB3 is third thread, isn't it?
Yes.
And then on those objects, I'm calling join. Okay, in the main thread.
Yes.
Okay, did you understand? So the
Yeah.
calling thread will wait for this thread to finish its execution. Only then the main thread will start running. So I've written, it means that main thread is now waiting for all the 3 threads to complete its operation, and only then it will run its, its thread. Okay, no? So it will first see whether that OB1 thread is alive or not. If it is alive, did you see this method over here? ob1.t.is alive, ob2.t.is alive. So is alive is a method which will say whether the this thread on which you are calling it right now, whether it is alive or not. So first it will say true, 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 because it was alive. And then, okay, it will join this thread only once all the threads will complete. And then again, I'm seeing whether they are alive or not at the end. I think I'm writing, yeah. So here it will say false, 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 because by then it would have joined the main thread, and the main thread, by the time the control comes to the main thread, all the other three threads, that is OB1, OB2, OB3 would have been dead. So this method will return false, false, false. Guys, is that okay? Jagannath, you asked me some doubts, no? Guys, you want to ask me some doubts, you can ask me quickly.
Okay, no doubts. Yeah.
It's very simple here. It's very simple. Okay. So I started 3 threads. Okay. I started 3 threads, which says 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So all those threads started running simultaneously. Okay. So everyone is printing from 0 to 5. Okay, with a interval of 1000 milliseconds, but only main method is not main thread is not running, because in the main thread I've given the method as join, join, join. It means that main thread is waiting for OB1 to finish, OB2 to finish, and OB3 to finish. Okay, so before here I've actually printed 3 statements which says OB1.t.is alive, OB2.t.is alive, OB3.t.is alive. It means this method will, this is alive method will return whether this object on which you're calling this, is alive method is alive or not. When these 3 are running, right, it will definitely say it is alive. It will say true. It will return true whether if the thread is running. If it will return false if the thread is not running. Okay. So initially when the 3 threads were running, okay, it will say true, 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 and then your main thread will start waiting with join, join, join. It is waiting. So the main thread will not execute. Okay, it will keep quiet until all the 3 threads run. Okay, so once all the 3 threads complete its operation printing from 0 to 5, then the control will be given to your main thread. Okay, and then what happens is that, it will come here. So main thread will start, printing its value from 0 to 5. Now it's the chance of main thread, and then after printing that 5 times, what happens is now the main thread is seeing whether that ob1.t is alive, is alive, is alive. By then, when the main thread has completed, now we know that all those 3 threads would have been, completed its operation. Now this will return false, false, false. Okay, I'll run this code once again for showing it to you. Java, okay, thread demo 5, thread demo 5. You see that first it says thread 1 is alive, thread 1 is, I think, thread 2, it should be thread 2 and thread 3. Okay, all 3 are alive. Okay, it is true, true, true. At the last, it will say false, 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 false. Okay, I think there is a small, where does it say thread 1 is alive?
Here.
Guys, did you understand this, what I'm saying? Hello? Guys, do you understand or not?
Yes, yeah, understand.
But I don't know why automatically 10 students left the class. Is it difficult, guys? Am I very fast? Guys, what is your opinion? Just tell me now, because I'm honestly not knowing. Am I fast? I'm trying my best to explain it to you in a very simple manner. Did you guys go through my material before coming to the class? Did you go through my material, guys? Hello? I asked you to go through my material, no? Okay. Are you finding it easy, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want me to stop the class and continue tomorrow? Hello? Or continue? What do you feel? Tell me, guys. Tomorrow, today, whatever it is, just tell me, no? Today, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow. Okay. Stop the class. Sahil is telling, stop the class. You dirty fellow, stop the class is what Sahil is telling. Anyways, okay. Fine then, guys. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Please make sure you read the thread chapter and then come to class. Is that okay? Guys, is that okay? Please send the code, guys. This code, first you do one thing, you finish off that thread chapter completely. Okay, and then I will send the code tomorrow to you guys. Is that okay? Is that okay, my dear friends? I'll send all this code to you. Don't worry, it will be with me only. I'll be sending it to you. First complete that chapter and then come. Okay, fine. So meet you tomorrow. Okay, and we'll discuss this once again. Fine. Please read the chapter and then come. Okay, chalo. Fine then. Meet you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.